Yellow's gone, green is out. It's time for the Boyd Speedway podcast, brought to you by Cindy's Choice.
Well, I'm geared up, Cindy here with Cindy's Choice, and so excited to be sitting in for Larry Dismukes today to host the Boyd Speedway podcast, and he'll be back soon. He's got a great lineup of drivers to talk to and share some stories, but I'm really excited to have a couple of the Cochran boys racing team. That's what I'm going to call y'all. I got two of those guys with me, and I'm super excited because they're representing too, because Rick Worley and Son Inc. is a Cindy's Choice, and he's one of y'all's sponsors. We've got Carden and we've got Canon. Hey guys, how are you doing?
Pretty good.
Doing good.
It's so great to have y'all here. And I just want to jump in because Canon, you missed out. You weren't at the race, and I know you're getting geared up with your car. Carden, well, I mean, you know, I've not been around racing in a really, really long time. Yeah. And it's like the excitement and the energy and fun, it was awesome, but I have nothing to compare it to. Yeah. Explain what was happening last weekend at Boyd Speedway.
It was totally different from any other weekend I've been to, except for like a really big super race somewhere else. But at Boyd Speedway, I've never seen that amount of excitement and that amount of people. Like, there was a lot of people at the track. Record
breaking, I heard.
Yeah, it was 2,000 in the pits and another 3,000 to 4,000 in the grandstands.
Oh my goodness, 2,000! Because I know there was over 200 cars.
224, I think, was the final count.
Whoa. Well, and again, it's like it was such a good energy. It was so exciting. But I'm like, I didn't have anything to compare it to, but that was what the feedback you got. And you and I had fun. We got to visit a little bit. And, and the Russell family, there's just such a good buzz. Everybody is just so happy. It's so perfect. Emerson Russell, passionate about racing. And now the Russell family, very beloved, very, endearing family in our community. And they are full on committed to making sure that this is, a well-managed, very entertaining race.
Yeah. And I see this year being one of the biggest years for Boyd Speedway. Like,
oh, yeah.
In terms of, I'm going to halfway expect that big of a crowd almost every single weekend because of, like, the amount of excitement they've been drumming up all over everything, social media and everything. It's just like, I've never seen so much excitement over one track, ever.
This is awesome. This is so awesome. And I'm so y'all can tell, I'm excited to be a part of this. And so, we've got another race coming up soon. And I wanted to kind of talk to y'all. Y'all are gearing your cars up, right?
Yeah.
But, I'm new to this. Bear with me, racer. Y'all are, I'm learning here. So I don't really understand the series and so forth. So, tell me what kind of car you're getting geared up and a little bit about the series that you're in.
My car is what you would call a 602 late model or...
Am I calling it the right? Is a series or a class?
It's a class.
Okay, class. There you go. See, I'm learning. Go ahead.
Yeah. But it's called the 602 late models, or I think they're calling it Sportsman 602, which is just one motor. It's a crate motor straight from General Motors. And the 602 is like the part number or sort of.
Okay.
But it's like it's a 350 small block Chevy motor.
Awesome.
And it puts out about 350 horsepower.
Sounds fast. How about you, Canon? What class are you in?
I have been running the same class that he was just talking about, 602 late models, 602 Sportsman. This year, though, we were able to get a 604 crate motor, so we're going to go crate racing in 604 and move up a class. So I'm excited for that.
I'm excited for you. This is amazing. But so y'all been in the same class.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And y'all are brothers.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's dig in here a minute. So, I can just imagine there's got to be a little sibling rivalry. Y'all, come on, be honest. Tell me what goes on there.
Well, there's been a little bit. Every now and then someone would rub the other guy's door trying to pass him during a race. And then it gets my mom a little, she gets a little anxious. And my dad starts seeing dollar signs. So. he doesn't want us wrecking each other, but he doesn't want us backing off of each other either.
Oh man, I love it. I love it. So y'all are a race family. There's 3 boys racing, because Carden and I, we're fast friends. So I was just like, oh wow, first generation fast race family. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about how that got started. Go ahead, Canon.
We all started racing in 2011. We started off originally playing football and baseball and basketball, but because of our different ages, we were always going different places with our family. Well, we all wanted to do something together, and racing was the only thing that really brought the family together. And so we looked into go-karts, and my mom didn't like the idea of that because there was no safety harnesses and no roll cage. So we decided to go into quarter midget racing, and we started racing quarter midgets in 2011, and we raced them till 2018. So that was a journey and a blast.
Oh, wow. That just sounds amazing. And I'm not familiar with what that is at all, but I'll Google it after. I don't want to bore y'all. Y'all probably know what they're talking about. But no, I'll be Googling that one to find out more about that. But that's, so, I think Race Family, y'all are first generation. You're kind of easing into this. And sponsors, we mentioned Rick Worley and Son Inc., one of your sponsors, and a Cindy's Choice. So you said your dad saw dollar signs. Mom's like, oh, my boys. And then your dad's like, oh, the money, I get it. So, oh my gosh, I can't imagine what kind of investment. And I know that this is, but for you guys, what you can relate to, I'll start with you, Carden, kind of like, what kind of investment in these cars? And I can't imagine, it's more than just the cost of the car.
Oh, yeah.
Like, throw some numbers, just like the types of sponsorships it takes to pull this off.
Well, it's nice having a tire sponsor because you go through tires like crazy.
There you go.
So it's always nice having someone paying for the tires and whatnot, because tires are like $170 a tire. So it's like,
whoa.
It gets a little expensive as the year goes on. But usually starting costs, if you get like a older car, which usually, if you're just getting into racing, I suggest you get an older car.
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot more people are going to know a lot more about it, and it's a lot cheaper than the newer cars. By a lot.
Well, what kind of dollars are we talking?
We got my car race ready, well, somewhat race ready, but for $13,000.
Okay.
So that was on the bit of the lower end. You can get them really cheap without the motor or anything.
I was going to say, because this isn't. Yeah, I was going to say this isn't the motor is where the cost is, right?
Yeah, the motor. I think my motor is anywhere in between the, would you say, $4,500 to $5,000 range?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Wow.
I don't know exactly on his motor, but.
Well, what about your motor, Canon? Tell us about your car, your class, the cost and the type of vehicle that you need to compete with.
The 604 crate motors, as we moved up in the class, we were really struggling to find one, and I just wasn't happy with how we were performing in 602, and I wasn't happy with the racing. So we moved up with my 602 car, and I was racing against the 604 cars with my 602 car, and we actually had quite a bit of good luck with that, and we actually got some races in and didn't get torn up. So we started searching for a motor, and it was hard to find. Most crate motors run about $7,000 up to $15,000, and thankfully we were able to find one at about, I think it was $5,000. And Rick Worley stepped up and helped us out with that, and we couldn't have been able to get that motor without him. So big thank you to him. And those cars are they're expensive.
Yeah, and then, and I do think, and then they do crash. It's like the I just can't imagine everything that's involved, but I want to start getting a feel for this, because y'all know I have a goal. I want to race. I want to be in the enduro by the time October rolls around for the big, hopefully before then. But I can't hang around anything long and not want to do it. And this is so exciting. So we're talking about y'all are first generation family, two siblings out there. You're about to divide classes. There's another brother. We'll touch base. What class is he in?
He runs the 602 late models as well with me.
Okay. So I mean, y'all are young.
Yeah.
And you've been doing this a long time. Right. You're the oldest?
Yes. I'm 19. He's 17, about to be 18. And our youngest brother, he's 15.
How old is he? It's hard to keep up after a while, yeah. And so all of y'all have been racing for like a decade?
This would be my 10th year racing. It also would be his 10th year racing. Coleson started a year after us, so this would be his 9th year.
Awesome. That is amazing. And I know Larry has some more young drivers lined up to come on the show. It's Britt and I, my assistant, we were all over the pit doing media interviews and so forth like that. And we were just stunned at these, young folks out there doing that. But it is I love that about like how your family, you wanted something you could do as a family. Oh, yeah. And that's a challenge because like my children were in different age gaps, and that was always like, what can we all have in common and do together? And no, that's awesome. That I love that story of how it gets started. So like, y'all didn't race in the first race. You're getting your cars ready. Mm-hmm. Like what is your goal? How many races do you want to be in, or what drives that?
As many as possible. That we can physically go to
now,
races.
Do you travel and race as well?
A little bit here and there. We haven't gone any further than about maybe 2 hours away. We try not to go outside the 2 hour range.
Well, there's a good number of speedways within a 2 hour round.
There's I believe there's about 23 tracks within 2 hours of here.
Oh, I didn't know there were that many. Oh, man.
No, there's a bunch and
you just want to race as much as you can.
Oh, yeah. I want to be at a racetrack. I don't care if I'm racing or not. I want to be at a racetrack.
I so get that. And pretty much the same with you?
I've got a little bit of a
Canon?
different goal.
Okay.
I want to just be able to win a race. I want to go out on the track, and I want to have the highest quality in my equipment, and I want to know that I have everything together. Last year, I didn't get a win at all, and that was kind of crushing because I like winning. So I think my goal is going to be to just make sure I'm taking care of the car and getting everything together and doing it all right, and making sure I bring the best piece I can to the racetrack to try to compete for a win.
Exactly. And y'all, it's like we think of racing and it's like who's the fastest is what. But what is about is so much more. It's like most of the cars, you can only go so fast around a big circle. And I love that because the strategy, the mind game, as with anything, that mental game comes into play more than how fast you can master a car, right?
Yeah, it does in a way. It does in a way. It's just you got to. I go through my head on what I'm going to do, but a lot of it's mostly just instinct. Like I just go out there and I flow with the car. I know what I'm generally doing. It's just I react to everything that's going on. I try to plan, but if you make plans, it's going to go wrong.
No, I get that. I told you I'm a hang glider pilot. And I'm not active now, but lots of years, lots of flying time. Well, I got into kayaking on whitewater. And the guides and stuff were like, Cindy, you're a natural. And I just got a natural instinct for that. But we think it maybe was because of all those years of hang gliding. I just really understood the leaning and the balance and everything. It just kind of like came right back to me. So I imagine when you start as a child, those instincts do get pretty solid in there. But that's amazing because I love digging in deeper like that because it's way more than just how fast you can go. And the most exciting part is all that maneuvering and getting, around somebody who's, going just as fast as you are. So it's just so exciting to watch. And now it's like it's going to be really exciting to watch you guys because I know you. And this is going to be a lot of fun. So tell me, so as many races a year as you can be in. So I want to talk about this winning thing a little bit. So have you had some wins? Tell me about some wins.
I have a total of 2 heat race wins and 1 feature win out at Fort Payne, Alabama.
Woohoo!
So that's my entire late model deal going on right now.
That sounds pretty awesome.
It's very exciting, and there's no other feeling like winning a race.
Oh,
you want to win.
I'm like, yeah, I
That's why
hear
you
you.
go to the racetrack.
Yeah. What about you, Carden?
I don't have any wins in a late model.
It's going to be so much fun to watch you when you win.
The last time I won a race was 2017.
Oh, what
So
you've won?
it's
Tell
been
us about that win.
Well, it was in Legend Cars down in Cordele, Georgia, which is South Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was asphalt racing. I enjoyed running those Legend Cars for a bit. They were pretty fun.
That sounds amazing. Well, I hear that down at Bristol, they're going to be doing, y'all can probably talk about this better than me. Something's happening like on the paved track. They're going to put a clay dirt track and there's going to be a big race. This sounds like a pretty big deal. I mean, because, yeah, y'all talk about that. And is that on y'all's radar? Is that something y'all would consider?
Maybe in the future, but not this year.
Well, tell me about. I can say, go ahead, Canon, get in there.
If we can get a big enough sponsorship for that race, we'll run it.
Did you? All right, say that one more time. If the Cochran Boys Racing team can get a big enough sponsorship,
we'll run it.
Somebody that wants to win, that's determined to win here. Good team. No, how exciting is that? It's with all the buzz and what a huge interest there is in dirt track racing, to get that kind of attention and that is just so incredibly exciting. So I want to talk about your mom for a minute. I love her already and admire her already because they're first generation race family. And I love what you said about you're going around the path, like mom's like, oh my gosh, my boys. And then dad is the car. Yeah. But I so get that because I'm that mom and I'm like a hang glider pilot. And, I couldn't understand. Hang gliding is a skill. It's like what y'all do. It's not like bungee jumping. I got certified. I took lessons and learned a skill. And, of course, when my family be hanging around, they'd be terrified until I landed. And I was like, this isn't. And then I'll never forget the first time my daughter went on a tandem and very skilled hang glider pilot. And they were doing some mild wingovers in the air. She in her and I'm just like, oh my, heart in stomach. Oh my word. And then all of a sudden, okay, I know what they feel now. So I love your mom for supporting, y'all's desire here. And that's like the perfect balance because as with anything, there's a bottom line. You still, somebody's got to worry about the money, but somebody's got to worry about the boys. And we know your daddy loves you, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's but I'm kind of trying to dig more into the family dynamic here. So is mom there? Is dad there? Are they in the pit? What's the pit? Tell me about the pit. You guys are in different class now, but you're at the same race. Is that happens, right? Because that's right.
It happened a lot last year, but this year we're trying to dial it back. So we're only taking one car, so we only focus on one, getting one ready, so we don't get overwhelmed. That's
what I was getting to because I'm like picturing both y'all and your dad's over here and dad's over there, and mom's over there, and this. I'm like, that's a lot because telling you, I posted. Britt and I took some of like John Schneider's friends on a tour through the pit and they kind of got some video footage and I'm like, whoa, this is like incredible. And I'd been in the pit before. It's been a long time. But to really just pay attention to all the activity and what all is going there, especially when it's 224 cars. So that sounds kind of like it might be good that y'all are getting in different classes so there can be like more of a 100% focus.
Yeah, it definitely simplifies things, especially for my dad. Because my dad was just getting overwhelmed last year with 3 cars running the same exact class, all in the same race.
Okay. Are y'all going to be ready for the Shamrock race?
I will be. At least I'm going to plan to be.
Okay, and remind me your series, their class again. Your class
602 late models, or at Boyd's it's Sportsman 602.
Okay, you'll be ready. Good. I got a car to watch. How about you? What's going on with you there, Canon?
I plan to have my car ready to go practice that weekend, but I don't plan on racing that weekend. I want to really focus on improving my speed and improving my ability to get around the track before I go back to a big race. So
okay, got to get warmed up.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, this has been so much fun. I appreciate y'all coming in today and help. Like, especially this was perfect for me. Larry's usually going to be in this chair, but you guys being sponsored by Rick Worley and Son Inc., who is a Cindy's Choice that you can find at cindyschoice.com. This was just perfect. And I've got guys to watch now. I know you've got somebody really rooting for you and cheering you on. And I can't wait to also maybe come get an interview with you guys in the pit as well.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Thank you so much. And thank you for tuning in to the Boyd Speedway podcast. See you next time.
Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in to the Boyd Speedway podcast brought to you by Cindy's Choice. We'll see you next time.